So we're just gonna watch this real quick.
I think you
Turn it down
you,
slightly.
you can still
chickens,
die
man.
to like random
Need to at least have two
fire
spots here.
blossoms or like rag death. Like rag is really where you would see deaths, to be honest. This is right here. This right here, chat, is the moment. If we're gonna see a death, it's gonna be on this big bad fire guy. Okay, that's where it's gonna be. Not worried about lava surger one shots. Surgers,
Wanna
no.
make your
Surgers
start or
aren't really
not?
risky. What?
Okay, so yeah, we've heard enough of the yap. Let's see the actual fight now where, yeah, someone does die to spoil it. So they started up.
Right, active right now.
We'll watch the kill first, and then we'll
Might
talk
be.
about the death.
Red is good. Red is. We are chilling.
It's a pretty
I
quick
am not
kill.
wearing a single piece of fire res. Give me up.
So first knockback.
First knock
this is
coming
when it
soon.
happens.
I'm gonna
He
go
does
for
a good
normal
job
taunt.
calling it out.
Do rotation. YMB. Oh, Crash got it. It's on Crash. It's on Crash. Crash is top throw right now. Crash is keeping it.
Good transition.
We're gonna start next taunt rotation is gonna be me, then YMB, then Crash. Me, then YMB, then Crash, and then I'm gonna AB taunt. I'm taunting now. YMB is next. YMB.
There's the
Crash
knockback.
caught him. Good. Very nice.
Elder?
Elder, Petri. Oh, milk!
Sick.
Oh.
API got knocked back twice.
Oh, way.
Yep.
So yeah, yes way, it did happen. So let's just go back and watch a little bit now about what exactly went wrong here. I thought that the raid leader's calls were pretty good as far as like the threat drop and that kind of stuff. Personally, as the main tank, I don't pop my Death Wish on the opener. I would rather just naturally have the DPS wait 2 or 3 seconds because you can taunt this boss, and then use your Death Wish during the second part of the fight when you know that threat is tougher and it's more important to be on the ball. What happens here is when the threat reset happens, you see he gets really unlucky with his string of attacks, so then the other guy takes over. It really doesn't matter who's tanking this as long as it's one of the tanks and they're getting healed, so you really do want to have 2 or 3 people like this. I sometimes wonder when I see people Zerker rage like this in the middle of the fight. Personally, what I would recommend doing instead is, in that right here, he shouldn't have pressed BT. He's way ahead on threat. Keep your BT off cooldown so when the threat reset happens here, he's ready to instantly press it. Because yeah, the threat reset happens and he still has multiple seconds left on BT, so now he's behind. You want to be able to instantly catch up and get the target. So fortunately then Crash uses their Death Wish, so that's the idea, right, is throughout this entire fight you have a tank with Death Wish on. Maybe not at the start, but towards the end, especially during execute phase, it's important to have your tank pushing out more threat. So right here at the end, this is where tragedy happens, and when Ampi gets knocked up, so does this Mick guy. So now he's going to fall, and he just goes from like 100 to 0 really quickly. When I say 100 to 0, he's at like 80% in the air, and then he dies on the ground. So let's go look at the logs now. And I don't like to victim blame, but I have to just mention some things that I'm seeing here. As far as buffs go, I guess this raid just doesn't really have Zanzas, right? In hardcore, not expected to farm the rep as reliably and that kind of stuff, but it's one of those things where like any sort of extra health thing would have saved him, right? Let's go to damage taken. Scroll in slightly so you can see. Died to 47 overkill. Just got absolutely womboed here, where within 1 second, ground Mets player and he died. If you look at healing, they did have a fire pot on, but unfortunately, that wasn't enough. Interesting thing to me to note is no health stone used or whipper. That's one thing that really surprises me from hardcore raids. Like if when he got knocked in the air, if he had used that, he would have been fine. The problem is if we go to cast here, we see that during that first threat drop, he cast Lip because he was worried. So instead of casting Lip, he should have just backed up for a second, or not cast for a sec. He intercepts back in right after, so that to me is a little bit interesting. We could go to replay and take a look. I haven't actually really done this from the perspective. So when it hits 30 seconds, these two guys get knocked away. So he got knocked back twice, and that's when he lips, because he got knocked away like that. He didn't lip originally, it looks like. A little hard to tell. Yeah, so he got knocked back that first time and then comes back in, and during that first time, that's when he lips. So potion is a 2-minute cooldown. That means he can't use one later. He could have lipped and not taken fall damage instead, but like I said, because of the knockback or the threat issues, he lipped on the first one. So Petri, Healthstone, or just a Giga Raider that was pressing bop on him as he was falling, that would have been the savior. It looks like potentially there was a paladin in range here that could have done bop, but yeah, pretty tragic, unfortunate. And there's not much you can really do about that. It's kind of is what it is. Besides a Petri, like I said, you see other Petris were used. Let's just see how many Petris were used on this rag. So we're going to go to Analyze, Casts, and then go to the P in Petri. So only one person Petried. Maybe more should have, but anyways, just some things to talk about when I see hardcore deaths like that, and specifically on Rag, the way it was tanked. My recommendation is just a little bit better of chaining of cooldowns and saving your BT. I also did note that Ampi was doing a lot of this raid without consumables, and he blamed it on his chat for not telling him. My recommendation is to have some sort of weak aura as the main tank that tells you some sort of basic consumables. That's something that I often don't pay attention to, so definitely won't claim to be an elite raider, but as someone that's leading a hardcore raid, I would definitely recommend having a way to remind yourself about what consumables you should have on when raiding. There are weak auras for that. Interesting too to see the group comp, the way it's done here. This isn't typical for Alliance, and I guess because it's Molten Core, they're just not super worried about trash damage. But I would highly recommend that in hardcore raids you have a priest in every group if you're on Alliance. That's the reason that Alliance is so good. So it's always strange to me when I see group comps like this. The priest in every group allows you to prayer of heal and put out an insane amount of raid healing. Again, maybe they're not super concerned about that, but it's just weird to me. I don't really understand this mindset of getting that extra little bit of Hunter TSA damage in comparison on some rogues. Put the rogues in a tank in one group and don't give them TSA. Instead, have the raid be a lot safer by having the priests actually be able to cast the spells that make Alliance so strong. Anyways, some thoughts. Thanks, guys.